Minasan ohayou gozaimasu. Just a minute. That's not the opening screen. That's the opening screen. Sorry about that. Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Chance to use some muscle this morning. I get my training. I didn't get any training at the pool today. I didn't go to the pool today, as regular viewers would understand. Okay. Today, how's our situation? It's not so bad in here today. I have the back windows wide open, the front windows wider open. What does it say? 32 and 50 with a beautiful, beautiful breeze. The pool's closed. It's closed the last day of the month. It's for deep cleaning. It's closed the last day of the month and on the 14th, halfway through the month. So no chance for a swim today, but it's okay. I am going to get my exercise, my upper body exercise this morning. People are asking about the tsunami. No effect here at all, not at all. Oh, you've seen the news by now, whatever there was, really no. Maybe up in Russia, some people got hit, but for us, nothing. But the alert system worked. People ran away from the sea, and there's no chaos. All day long, the NHK News just ran reports all day long about the evacuations and about waiting for tsunami and stuff like this. I think there were some small wave things, like X centimeters high. Other than that, I don't know. But it's like somebody says, it's like a drill. The system worked. Nobody panicked. It was tough, though. These people are evacuating from the sea up to a park or something, up a hill away from the sea. And it's one of the hottest days on record ever. And it's just baking sunshine. So most of the problem for the city authorities and whatever was helping the older people and the kids, whatever, in the middle of this insane sunshine, And they weren't sure. They didn't let people go back pretty much throughout the full day because there was still, I guess, a risk of something coming. So a couple of places got 6 feet, not in Japan. Maybe that's up in Russia. I'm sorry, not in Japan. Okay, the work today is simple. It shouldn't take me the whole stream. We've got a bunch of things to do backed up here. I've got this to do first. We have a big show and tell, a big box show and tell for today. Let's get to it. This is our etching press, our little Dick Blick Econo Etch Model 2. It's been with us now for, oh my God, when did I get it? I got it to do the paper calendaring for the Beauties of Four Seasons print series, which would be 2004 or something. So yeah, 20 years. It's done 20 years service. Here's the drill. The metal plate long ago gave up being smooth. This is not the plate. This is a piece of acrylic. Because the bottom roller is strongly toothed, it digs into the bottom surface of the metal plate. The top surface stayed smooth. But also, because we're using it one way, the bottom plate, day by day by day, bit by bit, became rolled. So we flipped it over to get it to roll back. But that meant that both sides of the steel plate became heavily toothed from the roller underneath. So you can't use the steel plate itself for putting paper on because it's now not smooth. So step one was we put an acrylic sheet on. It gets dinged and dinged and dinged, and you can't put paper directly on it because the paper picks up the dings from the acrylic. So we have a replaceable sheet of plastic. We've got a couple of them. We put it in. If it gets dinged and whatever, we take it out. We've got another one. So this is our press surface. But still, we don't put the paper directly onto that. This paper is so sensitive, we use little pocket clear files. That's going to go in here. Paper's going in face down, in at the back. And we're going to give it a 2 pass. Once this way. Well, let's do it. And then take it out and turn it heads and tails so that, again, the foot is going in first. This side's lighter because the paper's already pressed now. And that gives me a smooth surface. If we just did it like this, once through and back, it means I've got to perfectly get these two pressures aligned. By sending it through the other way around, it's left, right, and the paper comes out just so beautifully. Beautiful. You can't see it there, I guess. It just looks like a piece of paper. I've got a light here. Check. Woo. We are ready to go. 3 sheets done. There's 80 in the stack. 77 to go. Are there questions? Amisan coming today. Her paper is out. Yes, I took her paper out. It's on her desk in the next room. She should be coming today. She's doing a back number print today. She's finished her Dreams of Future Past, number 7. And she's now working on something from the Ghibli Journey. Oops, the Woodblock Pilgrimage series. We have an interruption today. There's going to be a show and tell at the end, but in the middle, because this is so freakingly boring, we have video. And here's a hint about the video. Why does the paper need this pressing? For this specific job, there's 2 reasons right now. The general reason is that the paper we're getting from Iwano-san, and have done for quite a long time now, has become bit by bit very much rougher on the surface. When we started buying paper from him, whatever it was, 30, 35 years ago, the paper, his grandfather was still alive. The paper was a higher quality, and the front surface of the paper was smoother. And the smoothness of the front surface comes from the drying boards. And they're drying boards which were ginkgo. What's the tree's name? Icho. Big, wide wooden boards from the ginkgo. And they kept them in good condition. And keeping them in good condition meant every now and then they called up a craftsman who would come in and with a very delicate plane would plane the surface of the drying boards to keep them flat. Because when you put wet paper on and take them outside, and put wet paper on and take them outside, the wood surface bit by bit absorbs water and it gets rougher. So every now and then you need a light dressing. Now these boards are yay wide and they're 4 or so meters long, and they are very, very, very expensive. Basically these days it's just not possible to buy such a thing. And every time you plane them and dress them, every single time it gets a little bit thinner, a little bit thinner. So, just to try and keep their business alive, they have been postponing and postponing and postponing the dressing of their wooden boards, with the result that their paper gets rougher and rougher and rougher. There's another way to dry the paper. You can put the wet paper on steel plates with a gas stove inside. Psst, and it dries very quickly instead of going outside in the sunshine. But it does so by heating the paper quite strongly. Kind of compare and shows the paper done and undone. Well, I can hold them up to the camera, but I don't really know if you're going to see anything. I don't know if this is going to show anything or not. I don't know. From where I am, I can see nothing. It's just paper, the smooth one, rough one. It's also, I said there's two reasons for this. It's not just the smoothness. For this print also, this batch of paper is scheduled to be printed by me later this week in one of the editions of the Hokusai Reborn series. And the Hokusai Reborn blocks are carved on boxwood, and the patterning and details are extremely fine and delicate. And if the paper surface had any roughness, if the roughness in the paper is bigger than the delicacy of the lines you're printing, then there's no way you can't print properly. So because the image is so delicate this time, we want the paper as absolutely flat as possible and thin, easy to print. So it's a combination of a few different circumstances. Get up the calipers, I guess so. Would it show anything? Okay, we could maybe try. Where are the calipers? What did I do with them? 1 second. So what should we do? Just the same sheet, okay? The one we just done, and not that one. So let's take one sheet and let's measure it at the same spot, can I? One sheet in the middle at the base. Are you getting a focus? It seems to be 0.24 of a millimeter. Have we got focus there? I can't see the screen from as far back as I am. It says 0.24. Have we got focus? This is not Rotassan's paper, this is Ueno paper. $19. Have we got focus? Shade over 19, between 19 and 20. Again, it's thinner. That's actually not the big deal for me here. The big deal is the surface texture to make it smooth. That's the big deal for this particular job we are doing here today. The thinness doesn't really make all that much difference. This one is done, right? Okay, here we go. this Maratta thing, the masculine thing, has become a meme, I guess. I'm not so sure if I really want to follow that, but whatever. The Maratta paper is smoother. It's also behaving quite differently in a number of respects, some of which Aimi-san and I are still struggling with. The paper is quite different. We've tried now the thick paper, the thin paper. This new batch of her paper is quite different. And we think maybe she might have used a different substance for the Tororo Aoi. We don't know. Until we talk to her, we don't know what's going on. It's wonderful paper. It's usable. It has some different characteristics and nothing to do with like the masculine, feminine thing at all, whatever. I'll report more. We're going to go up to see her in a couple of weeks, maybe next week, I don't know. I'll report more as I learn more. I don't think it's the rice powder because the whole first lot from Maratta was with rice powder. The second lot from Maratta was with rice powder. Supposedly, there's no difference in that aspect to it. So we don't know. Something else is changed that she's really not sharing with us just yet. So we'll see. Could be season as well, you know. Paper made in a very, very cold environment and paper made in a warmer environment. Yeah, I know, I'm the one that started that thing. I know, I get it. I'm not blaming anybody else. But it seems to have taken a life of its own more than the meaning that I implied at the very beginning. So, not blaming anybody. Do I see variations like this in Iwano-san's paper? We've been getting Iwano-san's paper for, as I said, 30, 35 years, whatever. There have indeed been times over the years when something has changed. There was once, it was 7 or 8 or 9 years ago, when most of the batches of paper we got for that year were really, 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 really difficult to use. The paper had changed. Something had gone wrong with it. We called them, nothing wrong at this end, nothing changed at this end. We talked to other printers in town, oh my God, what's going on? The paper this year is terrible. So something did change. They didn't say anything about it. Something had happened. It turned out years later when the conversation came up that yes, there had been something had gone wrong with one of the harvests that year, and the root, the mucilage root that they use for putting in the vat to suspend the fiber, what we call the Tororo Aoi, that had had a crop failure and they were using a substitute. And the paper had dramatically changed. And they never admitted it. Nothing wrong with this end, nothing changed at this end. So that's one episode of a 30-odd year history. Other than that, the quality may be a bit better up and down, but overall no dramatic changes. But Maratta-san is at the beginning of her game, still trying to figure out what to do and how to make it work. So there's much more variation in her stuff at the moment. I'm sorry about the chat, excuse me. That's 20. There are 60 left. I've got them in batches of 10 so I can see how many we're doing. Someone say, is there rust on the roller? You mean down underneath? I have no idea. I'm not sure what you're looking at. The paper is well protected. This press is old. I've had it for 20 years. Oh, you mean on the roller here? Yeah, bits of rust, I guess. On here. Not sure if it's rust or if it's glue. pleasant work, you know, just peaceful, no one to bother you. A little bit of exercise, I don't know. Are you talking about cats? I didn't see the conversation. Let's get halfway through and watch some video. What have we done? 10 to 8. We're in the third group of 8. Let's get 40 sheets done. Watch some video. I got 2 clips to show you today. Do I tease or not? Whatever. One clip could be subtitled, let's see. One clip could be subtitled Rock and Roll. And the other clip could be subtitled Only Fans. Any plans for the next YouTube video? My God, the next YouTube video is in the can. The next 3 videos are in the can, waiting for me to get the editing done. The next major video is part 3 in the washi Adventures in Washi series. It's in the can. It's in the timeline in Final Cut Pro. It's waiting to have me do the voiceovers. I haven't done any color editing yet. It's coming. My problem is I have become a woodblock printer again. Due to serious problems in our staffing, I am now a printer, which means every day. Last night, you don't even want to know what time I went to bed last night. I am a printer. And it has killed progress in everything else that I'm supposed to be doing. We took an obligation for too many prints in this year's subscription series. We thought we had printer power to handle it, so we let the subscription count run up to 350 in what turned out to be a magnificent mistake. And now I have the obligation to deliver 350 subscription prints in the new series every month, plus another 300 back numbers, plus everything else we do in this business. So I'm sorry, my schedule for the next little while. Where did all the printers go? If you want next year's subscription series, should you sign up immediately? We've talked about this on the stream here over the past couple of months, and I cannot announce anything at all. We have made it publicly clear that there may not be a subscription series next year. Unless we can solve or mitigate this printer's crisis, there won't be any more. We're out of that business, period. Unless we can solve the problem. Where did the printers go? Wherever there was AC. The printers here work in an air-conditioned room. Air conditioning is not the issue here. Has that become another thing in these streams? Whatever, for those of you who don't know, whatever, we lost our most productive in-house printer, Suga-san. We lost her 2 years ago. She came one day and quit, and she has to take care of her husband's mother, who actually is still totally okay, but whatever, can't be helped. She's gone. Another printer is now on maternity leave, so she'll be gone for at least a year. She had her baby last month. Excuse me. Another printer is still, last I heard, is in hospice. We haven't had any updates on that. I'll let you know as soon as I do. The only update would not be good news, but whatever. Another one of our printers, the ones that work here, is just taking a 2-month leave of absence because it's too hot to work in the summer, even in an air-conditioned room. Ami-san, the girl you're going to meet in a few minutes, she's going to come up the stairs. She's leaving as soon as she finishes the job she's doing now. She's leaving for a month. She's taking her kids and family up to Hokkaido. Well, she thinks it's cooler up there. A big joke on her. No, her family. She's from Hokkaido. So they're doing what many Japanese mothers do with take their kids. They go back to mom's place. Dad stays in Tokyo at work. This is really common. The husband will stay in Tokyo at work, and the mother will take the kids back to the country for the summer, or for a good chunk of the summer. Very common. So for me, it's just me sitting here. I'm it. Sitting here. We have 2 outside printers, Chiharu-san and Kawai-san. That's it. I'll be the only printer here now once Ami-san leaves in a few days. I'm the only printer here till September. Not all of our printers, one of our printers, Mr. K, the one we call Mr. K, Kawai-san, Kawai Atsushi. He's not a girl, he's a guy, like me. That's it. All the rest of our printers are ladies. The maternity leave she's getting is nothing to do with the government. She wants to take that time off to have her baby. So we've kept her on. In this case, it's the lady is not registered with the national system at all. She's an immigrant. So we're paying her. We're just going to keep her on staff. Just said, go home, have your baby, it's okay. We have the resources for this. So it's a private maternity leave from Mokuhankan. Time to take my bat and ball and head back to Ome. You know, I would if I could. I would if I could. I signed up for some course to learn printmaking. No, I spent a few weeks, 6 weeks, was it, or 6 or 7 weeks, at what used to be called the Yoshida Academy. And back in the 80s, so I think it started in the 70s into the 80s, and I think they folded it in the early 90s, I can't remember. There was something called the Yoshida Academy, where the Toshi Yoshida and the rest of his family, they had an open, sort of an open studio workspace in the ground floor of their building, where people would come and get assigned a bench space, and then, hi, make some prints, go ahead, do what you want. And we would do that while watching the other students and while watching Komatsu-san, who was printing in the main room. And every now and again, Tsukasa-san, who's Toshi's son, would come down and look what we're doing and offer wonderful words of advice and stuff. It was okay, it was cool. It wasn't a school with a curriculum you stepped through. It was a place where you could grab a bench and work while other people were working around you, and you could learn a whole lot. I was there for, I don't know, nearly 2 months. I don't know exactly. That was in 1986. Okay, here's the last sheet. Oh no, two sheets of the first half. This is number 49. No. There's 80 in the batch. So this is number 39. That's number 40. And then let's look at a little bit of video. Would I consider creating an open studio? No, I have no interest in that. We have made tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of information available. Videos by the score, downloadable books by the score, streams. I've made enough information available. Anybody who wants to try this now has more than enough access to information. There's also courses and teachers all over the planet. The kind of person that has to sit and be told what to do is the kind of person that could never, ever, 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 ever become a competent printer anyway. So my conscience is clear on that. We have created a wonderful environment to learn what to do. Okay, what's this? My dedication is admirable. Dedication? Okay, that's halfway through. Let's look at a video clip. Last stream or something, last stream, was it Monday? I showed you a little clip of some, here, I think it's still here. I showed you a video clip like this. This was the lotus plants over in Ueno Park, here in Ueno, about a 10-minute walk from here. They may still be up and running, actually. There's a seasonal window where they grow, and they flower each morning and fold about noon. I hadn't known about this, but Sadako dragged me over there and told me to go over there. We had a look at it. The next day was Tuesday. The shop was closed, and I still had to go to the pool, but dedication, I get up at 5 o'clock, grabbed my Osmo, and went over there to try and catch a bit more video. And I caught 2 short clips. The first one we're going to look at here, the clip is, let's just look at it. I think sound comes through the video. Let me know if it's too low or too loud or whatever. This is taken Tuesday morning at 5:30 or so in the morning over in Ueno Park. This is the Shitamachi Museum. This is the back of the museum. It's surrounded by a fence. With some gravel. Why are we showing you this? It looks like I took it. I did put it back down, actually. And here we are. This is the place I was tipped off by Gosho-san, the Baron maker, where we could perhaps get a stone to use in our work. I did put that one back down. You heard the clink as it went onto the ground, right? And this is Shinobazu Ike, Shinobazu Pond. And because of the lotus at the moment, there's sort of a festival going on, but at this time of the morning, nobody's there. It's funny, the flowers are blooming only early in the morning, but there's no festival things open. Beer, beer, beer. Homeless? I don't know. I don't think so. No tent. Just a bit of a whatever. It's not a specific festival. It's just a bunch of people setting up tents to sell beer and snacks and whatever. And these plants are high. Look at this. We're way above the water level. This was early in the morning and the skyscrapers are blocking the sunshine. It's Shinobazu Pond in Ueno Park. And these are the lotus flowers that bloom just for a few days each year and just for a few hours in the morning each time. And that's the place we were just looking at. That's the Shitamachi Museum. The postbox there is non-functional. It's a replica of an older postbox. Here's the museum. It's run by the city, Taito Ward. So that's where the famous river stone came from. You heard the clink as I put that one back, right? Okay, now let's see those flowers a little bit more. There's something else interesting. I started walking a few minutes later. I walked around to the sunny side of the pond and walked around. And as I walked, I was hearing, what's this noise? Zzz, and I thought for a minute it was a drone. And you can probably see the camera glitching a little bit. I'm looking up and around to try and find the drone. People are not allowed to do that in Tokyo, but I was hearing a drone sound. Let's look at the video. The sound, of course, turns out to be the fans in this guy's jacket. He's got electric fans in his jacket. And that's your garden with the sunshine on it. Very, very cool. Okay, for those of you who didn't see it on Monday, there's another very, very short clip. When I went there with Sadako, let's replay the clip that we saw the other day. This is about 1 minute long, that's all. A better view of these flowers. This is an hour or so later with the sunshine full on the pond. And this one, the colors actually, you're not actually seeing the real color. I didn't know about this, but Sadako took that video. That video was made on her phone with HDR mode switched on. So what you're seeing just now, it's a playback of an HDR video through a system that's not designed to handle it. So the colors on that third clip look washed out. I don't know how to adjust it, and maybe OBS doesn't even understand how to play that video properly. That's why the coloring looks different. It's not just the time of day, it's the HDR that has washed everything out. And it's funny, I was curious about this. So on my own computer here, I played back the video, the one you just saw, and thought, gee, those colors were a lot richer than what I saw in OBS. So I took a screenshot of the last frame of the video you just saw, and here's the screenshot. I'm like, what? And this is a screenshot totally gets washed out, and I really don't understand what's happening here. The video from an iPhone HDR played on my computer, beautifully rich colors, screenshot is washed out, and playing the video through OBS semi-washes it out. And this obviously it's color profiles or video profiles or something, and I don't really understand it. So OBS I think doesn't support HDR, but at least it played the video something. The first two videos you saw just now are just from my Osmo, just normal 4K video, not HDR, 4K video played back through the system. The shrine in the middle of the pond is Benten Shrine. The little island is Bentenjima, Benten Island, and the shrine is Benten Shrine. You didn't see it, I didn't walk up to it in these videos. You go up there and the path goes around the back, dividing Shinobazu Pond into 3 zones. If you're walking up to Benten, the left zone is the Lotus Pond, which we just saw, and it's totally covered, no empty water whatsoever. At the far east side of Shinobazu, on the other side of the walkway, is the boat pond, where people do the pedaling little boats back and forth. And the third part of the pond is inside Ueno Zoo, and it doesn't have lotuses. So it is Benten Shrine in the middle of it, dividing the pond into 3 zones. There we have it. Let's get back to work. Now we've got creep. This little pad on top has been creeping, creeping, creeping. You can't see it there, but at the end here it's rolled around. I think we have enough time. I don't have to reset it. Okay, let's go. 40 more sheets. How's our time? 8:40. It looks bang on. We will have time for our good big box show and tell. They're asking about the shrine. There is a festival at that shrine. Benten in Ueno Park does have a festival. I don't know when it is. I'm sorry. It's a very, very, very old shrine. It's been around for a long, long time. There are Benten shrines all over the country. Benten is one of the seven gods or whatever. There's a group of gods, 7 gods. Are they called the 7 lucky gods? I don't know. The ones that have Ebisu, Daikoku, Benten, Benzaiten is one of them. Oh, look at this chat. The fan jackets, there's many, many types of them. The one you saw just there is, I believe, just simply a bare fan jacket. It's a shell type garment with 2 little fans in the back and a battery pack. There's a more professional type that construction workers use. And the delivery boys here from Yamato, the Black Cat company, they have it's a much higher upgrade. Their fans are noisy. When they come in the building, it sounds like a jet plane has come into the building or a helicopter or something. Oops, that's not supposed to go. It's supposed to go back. And also, theirs has a removable ice pack. And back at their station, back at their office, there's a refrigerator unit that has the ice packs in it. So what happens is there's a zip somewhere at the back, you put an ice pack in it, fire up your switches, and the fans work. And 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, whatever the time is, when your ice pack has melted, you're back at home office, you switch it out back into the fridge, grab a new one, and away you go. And for anybody working outside in a place like Tokyo, the middle of the concrete jungle these days, wow, that must be making a huge, huge, huge difference. Someone says a heat pack, can you do that in winter? I don't know. Can you switch it over in winter? Good question. I don't know. I don't think you'd want to do that. I don't think you'd want to have fans running. You'd want to have your heat pack in there, but fans would just disperse the heat outside. I don't know. Someone says, do we have a shop? Yes, we have a shop. I'm standing in it right now. Open 6 days a week. You don't get upstairs where I'm working, but there is a shop downstairs. Closed Tuesdays. At the moment, still lots of selection. At the moment. Our current hasn't changed much since I started this morning. We're at 30, is it focusing? We're at 32 and around 50. Oh, which way am I going? Must be going this way. The paper we're using today is not made by Murata-san. The paper we're using today is made by Iwano, the Iwano family. Ichibe Iwano is the family and the brand name. We also get paper from Murata Naho in Etching. And somebody's mentioned that this is not her paper. This is Iwano paper today. We use both back and forth. The sizing job I did yesterday morning off camera was Murata-san's paper. This is Iwano paper today. No, this paper's dry. If I sized and it wasn't on stream. It's funny, you asked that as a sort of a joke. I get it. Who is this? Morris, Florida, whatever. I get it, but it's, for me, it gets to sort of a more existential type question. We're now live. So much of our work, we do it in public. The shop is there. We do things in public, and then there's something growing in my head that the feeling and the mood, stuff we do in public is sort of real, and stuff we don't do, like, is it real if nobody's watching? I mean, you said this is a joke, but something is no joke for me, actually. Something really gets to me no joke. And I would imagine a person who is, I mean, we're talking super echelon famous stuff, you know, the Tom Cruise level or whatever, or people who are the Trump level or whatever. If nobody's watching, it doesn't matter, it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist, you know. Dave is at some lower level of this. You know, Pixar, it didn't happen. It really, you're laughing about this, whatever. And it was an innocent, casual, it was a joke question. But somewhere in the core of it, there is something going on that has grown and grown and grown over the years. And I think if it grew more, like if we're not going to get more famous than we are, it doesn't matter. But if, as you move up that ladder of exposure, you know, if nobody's watching, did it really happen? You can laugh all you like, but there's something in there, you know. So I was asking about what we're doing. It's just one step. There's a long process for making wood block prints. And the thing I'm doing today, making the paper, the surface of the paper, making it smoother, it really helps in the step I will be doing tomorrow morning. Today, after the stream, I will be moistening this paper, getting it ready for printing. Actually, I have my newsprint ready. This will be, I guess we'll be doing it after the stream. I'll be moistening this paper, getting it ready. And then today's Thursday, tomorrow Friday, I will be printing on it. And then I guess Saturday stream, thinking about it now, if all goes well, moistening this paper today, reshuffling it tonight. Friday morning after I get back from the pool, I'll be printing. And then Saturday's stream should be one of the color blocks on this. So you'll see this paper again on Saturday morning, if all goes well. We don't treat all the paper this way, no. The job I'm doing is going to be printed on a very, very, very delicately carved block. And because of that, if the paper had too much roughness on the surface, the delicate lines wouldn't print carefully. Prints that are not so detailed or not so delicate, they could have been printed on this paper without this step. We don't do this for every job. Does the streaming help with productivity? Well, the easy, quick answer is no. These jobs all get done, whatever. This is a working workshop. 30 people work here. We sell tens and tens, hundreds of thousands of prints, tens of thousands a year. Production rolls along whether or not it's being filmed. So I can't say that the streaming helps with productivity. All of these jobs, if there were no such thing as Twitch, whatever, I would still be here doing this. This has to get done. It's definitely helped our business, so like more people buy our prints. So in that sense, it helps. And someone's saying it looks like a bad thing for productivity. I don't do the jobs that I can't do. I mean, there's jobs that I don't do. And I won't be printing the key block for this on stream. There's no way. The block would dry. Every second impression block would be too dry. So there are jobs that I don't do on stream. This sheet of paper is a little bit creased already. I don't know if you can see it. This is from the sizing step. When I sized the paper, maybe I was a bit careless when brushing. This is me. I probably a bit careless when I was brushing out the size. Maybe that will cure here, or maybe not. And if it doesn't, or even if it does, I need 2 or 3 sheets at the top of my stack to act as test sheets. So during the time that I'm making the paper moist, later this morning, I'll be looking at each sheet one by one by one, picking out the ones that I could use as the test samples at the top of the deck. Yeah, it's still there. We haven't got enough pressure here to crush that out. So what I'm going to do, help me here, help me find it later. I'm going to put a little, help me find it later on. And we'll use that up early in the stack. There's another one I noticed earlier today when I was cutting the paper. There's a blob of chili in the middle. We'll put that one up at the top as well. Looks like we have 10, 20, looks like we have 20 sheets left. How's our time? Nearly 9. I think we're okay. No, these sheets are going to be used for print number 11, the explosion print in the Hokusai Reborn series. The show and tell today, it's a big box show and tell. It's going to take some time to get it open, and I'm going to need the space. I'm going to have to clear this press and stuff out of here. So there's a little birdie cheeping in my ear saying, Dave, you've done this before. I don't think so. I don't remember really well. I mean, we've been doing show and tell now for, I don't know how many years, 6 years, 3 times a week for 6 years. I mean, there's a million things we've done on show and tell. And the little birdie is chirping at me saying, you've done this before. And I'm like, I don't think I've done this before because I don't have these prints. I've known about them, I've seen them, but I don't have them in the collection. And yet an auction came up, oh, this is a few weeks ago now. I grabbed this batch of prints. So it's a first for me. I don't have these prints in my collection. So I don't think I've done these before. But I don't know. You're talking about chicken. Famichiki, okay, it's all right, I guess, if you have to eat and run. There's this place near here that does really nice, well, lots of places that do really nice chicken, of course. I also got trapped. I made an update to my, the restaurant guide we've got. We've got a restaurant guide on our website. And it would be, I don't even know, a couple of months back now, somebody said, Dave, got your restaurant guide, tried a couple of places, really nice. We went to one of the places and it's gone. I'm like, what? Tell me. So they gave me an update. I went out there that night and yeah, it's gone. One of the places that was on my restaurant guide. So this would now be, 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, somewhere around there. I got around to it. I found a new place and put it into the restaurant guide and updated my online restaurant guide. And the new place I went to is the one that just casually mentioned. They did a real nice karaage. I'd been there 2 or 3 times, and the menu was good, easy to understand. It wasn't so crowded. It was open. The food was nice. It was, casual stuff, not a family restaurant. I thought I heard the door open. I don't know. But the menu was, and there was also, they had a happy hour deal where you could order a dinner and then a drink, and because it was happy hour, you get an extra little side with your drink. And one of their sides, which was, quote, free, unquote, you get your dinner, maybe a pork cutlet or something or whatever, and then you could order your beer, whatever, and you'd get 3 pieces of chicken karaage as a side. Wow. And I put this on my restaurant guide, said this is really good. This is a good place, nice place, good food, and they have a happy hour, blah, blah, blah. I go there last night and the menu's changed. Happy hour? Oh, chotto. So I'm going to have to change the restaurant guide yet again. I'm going to leave them in because it's a nice place, but yeah, the food map. The new one that's on there is, what's it called? Furaian. Top right-hand corner. I'll leave them in, but my food guide at the moment, I think it says there's a happy hour, and that's sort of not true, but whatever. John's asking for imahan on there. I'm not really a fan, you know. There's 3 different restaurants in Asakusa called imahan. They're all coming from the same family. They split up years ago, long before I came here. There was family fights. Who's going to get the name? Who sold out? Who didn't sell out? There was what they call noren wake. You know, restaurants have the noren at the front. You know, the thing you duck under to when you go inside. And it's, I guess, maybe really, really common. As a restaurant gets a little bit famous, whatever, the chef is there, blah, 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 blah. He gets older. He's got 2 sons. Who's going to get the business? Maybe they stay together, maybe they don't. Or maybe there's noren wake. One son stays there with that business, another son goes over there, and he keeps the same name. And that's what's happened with imahan. And we now have 3 different imahan here in Asakusa. One is the big, fabulous one up on Kokusai. That's the latest, newest incarnation. Another one, an old, rusty building that must be full of cockroaches, whatever. They call themselves Imahan Honten, the real old, original one. And there's one in between there. Maybe some other kid in the family got hold of that. I don't know. So when you say go to Asakusa Imahan, there's very, 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 very different things at play. One woman one day, back when we had the shop, early days in the shop, Japanese lady came for a print party. Turns out she worked there. And I wish I'd taken careful notes, because she gave me the rundown on the history of the place. But I didn't pay attention very much. Yeah, the one by Kappabashi, that's the new industrial scale imahan. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure it's wonderful. It's the newest one, the one that is supposedly not original, whatever. I don't know. I've never been inside. I can't, whatever. It's massive lineups around the block. Massive, massive lineups. Yeah, John, I've never been inside. I've never tasted the food at any of those places, so I have no dog in the fight. The place you've gone there may be wonderful food. I really, really, really don't know. I have no comment. I don't know. It's not a one-person type place. What we're talking about, for those of you who don't know, the imahan restaurants, they're shabu-shabu restaurants. And shabu-shabu is not the kind of food you have when you go out to dinner by yourself. For the most part. There's a hot pot in the middle of the table, of course. It's hot water and you've got this tray of meat and you're dipping and boiling and chatting and whatever. It's not a one-man, one-person place. So Dave doesn't go to get shabu-shabu all by himself. It needs to be with a group or at least a couple or whatever. You know. Also, John, then speaking of restaurants then, this is not on my list because it was too difficult for foreigners. It was not foreigner friendly. But the restaurant called the New Asakusa, it is now, John, just so you know, you and I have been there. That's the night when we had the conversation. 2017, John came over. I had some news to tell him. I didn't want to tell him, but I had to tell him. That's the place we had dinner that night, a couple of beers, whatever. That place has now gone to the restaurants in heaven. Ami-san, hello, hello. Kami dashimashita yo. So. They come, they go. That place was started long before I was born. So, have I done this one or not? Yes, it must be coming out. Yes, I think it's getting a tad thicker. And I think what I have to do here, just a sec. I actually wasn't paying attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the last one. I may not have been paying attention because as you go through this, bit by bit by bit, the what do you call it? This thing, the mat. What are they? Here, printers, help me. What's this thing called? The whatever, the felt something. It gets squeezed, of course. So what I should have been doing as we went through here, I should have been bit by bit. I should have been adjusting the pressure a little bit more. So I think some of these sheets of paper here, they're all going to be smooth, but some might be a bit thicker. The felt, whatever, the felt, it's probably just called the felt on an etching press. We're okay. We are okay. My God, it's 9:10. We're running out of time. I thought we had ages. Does somebody talk too much? Someone's talking about yokatori. I think you mean yakitori. Yakitori. Yaki is grilling. Tori is bird. Yakitori is the word you're looking for there. People are talking about their famous yakitori joints and stuff like this, and I see words yokosuka and yurakucho. Everything is different now, people. Everything is different. If it's been more than a year or a couple of years since you were here, ha 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 ha. Everything is different. Any famous place, the places you're mentioning now, yokosuka or yurakucho, is overrun. Overrun now with visitors. In the middle of the week, maybe there will be some salarymen still there, but the rest of it now, it's all about the tourists, like locusts all over town. And everything is changing. The mood of all those places are changing, the menus are changing, the prices are changing. I don't want to exaggerate it or whatever, but my God, it's incredible. You know, if you maybe get away from someplace like this, get away from Ueno, get away from Asakusa, take some random stop on the Yamanote line that's not near a famous place, then yeah, you will find more of a traditional culture like you're talking about. But all now the big places: Shibuya, Shinjuku, Ikebukuro, Ueno, Ginza, Asakusa. It's all over. Yeah, locals just head for the back streets, of course. But even there, we had in the shop the other day, I don't even know, maybe it was Monday, couldn't have been Tuesday, it wasn't yesterday, so it must have been Monday. I get called down to the shop to talk to some people, and we do this, do that, we chat with the people, the fans, whatever, send them off, and they left happily with their prints. Then the guy comes running back, Dave, lunch, we need lunch. He doesn't know or doesn't have my restaurant map. And anyway, my restaurant map's mostly about dinner. So he said, where do I go for lunch? So we're standing out front of the shop right now. It's 12:30, whatever. He needs a recommendation. So I go, okay, I'll give you two. If you go down the street here, we point, they're all hustled, they're standing around me listening for these words of wisdom. I said, go to the next corner. And here's what you do. If you turn left at the next corner, go to the corner and you'll see the arcade, and there it's Ippudo ramen, Kamakura ramen, industrials type places. You can get exactly what you want, Western menus, you're okay, good to go. If at the corner you turn right, go down the back alley there, you'll see a blue and white sign. You can't read it, there's no English, but they've got plastic food outside. A place called Mizuguchi, that's where, you know, me and our staff, that's where we go for lunch. He says, okay, that's it, we're going. They head down the street. Which way do they turn? Left to the safe, modern place, or right to the back street place? They turned right. So even the back streets are no longer safe anymore in this area. I think if the staff hears me tell stories like this, I know what they're going to say. Dave, don't tell them! Ippudo, there's a few around here, John, now. There's a few. I went to one just last week, a new one. There's a new one on Kaminari Mondori, about 30 seconds walk from here, just past the back. All totally mechanized. You don't see a person. You go in the front door, you're faced with the menu, you hit the menu. There's no cash. There's a big sign on the front door that says no cash. You hit the machine straight away. You do your thing on the machine, and then you give your ticket to the counter, and that's it. A girl will come a few minutes later with your ramen. It's fully, totally, absolutely industrialized. Okay, there we are. The work is done. What time is it? 9:12. Just in time for a good big box show and tell. But I have a problem. For the show and tell, I need this space. And that means this press has to go over there. We will either have a show and tell or we'll call an ambulance. Which will it be? Use your legs, Dave. Don't use your back. Use your legs. Use your legs. Use your legs. Crouch down. Height. Etching press. Someone's saying that's how the plate gets bent. I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Okay, show and tell. Okay, as I said, I don't think we've seen this before. I don't have it in my collection. It's new to me. I've known about it. I have seen the set. Have we seen it in show and tell? A little birdie says yes, Dave says no. Who are you going to believe? Fried chicken. What's somebody dreaming about? There's no way this plastic is going to be anywhere near recyclable, unfortunately. Can't be helped. Oh, we're in. This is not going to be 99 layers of beer on the wall. This is going to be, it looks like, one layer. Is that a new world record? One layer. That's American style packaging. But luckily, it's Japanese style shipping, so it arrives in one piece. So, okay. No green tape. Okay, we have Mokuhankan Bijinga Shu Meiji no Onna. Mokuhan is woodblock prints, Bijin are beauties, Bijinga, pictures of beauties, Shu is collection, Meiji is a time period, and, well, women, beauties, Meiji women. It's a set of prints. It was made, I think there's going to be a date inside. It was made in, I think, the 1960s or 70s. Let's pin the tail on the donkey. Let's say 1970s. And it was a set of prints with a difference. Now, they obviously had a plan. They were going to make a set of prints. I think the original plan was for 40 set of woodblock prints. And they went up and running. They took subscriptions, they took orders, they got going. They made one print, they made two prints, they made three, they made whatever. Partway along, something happened. Either pre-orders hadn't worked out as planned, or a printer got sick, or something, and the series did not continue as planned. And they switched over, and the later prints in the edition were made with offset printing instead of woodblock prints. So it's a set of 40 prints, and only the first, I don't remember, we'll find out, only the first 8 or 9 or 10 or something are woodblock prints. The rest are color copies. You know, offset printing, just normal color printing. Now that might confuse you. We had a set of prints here 6 months or so ago, beauties. It was by, what's the guy's name? Iwata Sentaro. And it was the same thing. We opened this red package and we looked at some beautiful Shinhaga type beauties. And the first group, I think there were 6 of them, the first group were woodblock prints, and then it switched to color printing. And maybe that's simply the economics. It didn't make sense for them to continue. There wasn't enough orders or whatever. I don't know. Now people are thinking, Dave's 8 views of cats. We've got 4 cats finished. Are the rest going to be color copies? I don't think so. I think we can make it. Okay, here's how the set was sold. There's a frame. It's a frame. And then the set of prints. And of course, the idea was that the people who got the set would one by one, they'd put them in the frame, change it out for a while, and put them back. And that way they could have a different print on the wall in their living room forever and ever and ever. Oh, don't, okay. The camera doesn't zoom out any further. We're going to have to move it back. This is it. Let's get this. Prints there. Camera here. Can I bring it in? My kingdom for a cameraman. Here we are. Okay, this will do. I can make my own mug smaller. Here we go. Okay. These layers don't count, obviously. Layer after layer after layer. Here we go. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 11 I think there's 11 prints at the top, which are going to be woodblock prints. Then the rest of them, all the other prints in this stack, these prints are all color photocopies. The original intent had been, obviously, to make a set of woodblock prints, but I guess simply they ran out of money. I really don't know. We got a date on here. It's Showa 52. And it says the edition was 980. That's interesting. The edition number is 980. Would they have planned 1,000, but they didn't get that many good prints? Anyway, edition 980, this is copy number 30. Showa 52, the first date of the 10th month. Let's get this out of the way, because these ones that are not woodblock prints are not specifically interesting for us at the moment. So what's the date? 1977. I got to be careful I don't drip on the prints here. Now how do we do this? Do I take, if I bring the camera closer, let's try. Chup, 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 chum. Just a sec. Here we go. That'll be better. Okay, it's terrible light here. We've got a little terrible fluorescent light on the table here, so I'm sorry. But it'll have to do. Nicely, nicely done. Now what they've done, they've taken prints from the Meiji era. There's going to be, some of them are classic ukiyo-e, and some of them are going to be shinhanga style. And they've made woodblock reproductions of them all. These were prints that were originally woodblocks. They weren't paintings. Recently you've seen me show you woodblocks made from paintings. These are not. These are replications, woodblock replicas of what were originally woodblock prints. Can you see the shomenzuri, the black? There's shiny on the hair. There's also nunomezuri on the background, which perhaps is not going to show. The background paper has been textured to show. It looks like it's going to be a painting on silk. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a typical Meiji Taisho. This must be late Meiji, early Taisho. It's the dreary sort of depiction of women that was very, very common in those days. This is nicely, nicely made. Not my favorite type of image, but a beautifully made object. There's no way we can go through. Let's try and find, oh, here we are. Okay, that's so similar to the previous one. Again, dreary women. Why do they make everybody, Dave, be quiet. Would they have textured the paper the way I did with the press? No. The paper is textured by printing over a piece of fabric. They cut the background block first to the right shape. Is there any here? No, there's none here. But the idea, if you wanted that area to be textured, you'd cut a block for that shape. You glue fabric onto it, and then you rub the paper over the fabric, and the paper picks up the actual fabric pattern. Here, this is going back in time now. This is more classic, much more close to ukiyo-e. Reproduction of a Yoshitoshi series. There should be embossing in the flowers here. Again, I'm not sure if you can see it. Someone says, are the blocks they print these on as big as the print? I'm not sure about your question. Blocks, it's the exact same size. I mean, They've done a really good job on this, you know. For the 1970s, I'm surprised a little bit. They're probably not as good as the Meiji originals. A bit more texture in the background, color. It would be nice to get them side by side to compare. It's sort of the last gasp. Oh, another one from the same series. I don't know who the craftsmen were on this series. Got it? The faint pink, it's just barely visible. This is more like classical ukiyo-e. This is much more ukiyo-e style. Shiborizome, the pattern, carved and printed in replica of a tie-dye dyeing pattern. And if you think this printing is easy, hoo 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 hoo. The set cost me 40,000 yen. It was on Yahoo Auctions last week. Oh, we've seen this one before. I have a copy of this downstairs as a single print. This is Chikanobu. I'm off the camera here, excuse me. We've had this on show and tell before. I know we have had this on show and tell before. Those are not the foxing. This is cherry blossoms, delicately. And also there's an embossing pattern on the fan also. I'm not sure if it's going to show on the screen. Rich, rich printing, perfect registration. I'm very, very happy to get these. I've been waiting for this set a long time. Broken sets come up all the time. Sets with one print missing come up all the time because they're without the frame. As I showed you before, there's a frame with this set. People would put the frame on the wall. This is not so good. This is nowhere near as good as the printing in the original Meiji edition would have been. Look at this texture. Sizing on the paper is too hard, and the printer has struggled to print smoothly. This is no good. Disappointing. Oh well. I'll try and find a better copy if I can. Not sure about the design. Are those wabbits? Foxes? Wabbits, kinda? I don't know. We get this occasionally. This one was also, I think, published as an individual item. It's a replication of a Meiji-era kuchie. And again, the printing here, this is not first-class printing. The guy who printed this used too much of a heavy hand. Her face is too heavy. The carving is nice, too much pigment, too much pressure on her nose, too much blackness in the whole thing. This is way too heavy-handed. Carving is wonderful. Some of the printing is very nice, but the key block and head are too heavy-handed. Beautiful work on the tree, kasare bori, the carving to make it look like brush strokes. They're in random order here. We're going back later. This is Taisho again, and yet another consumptive woman. I guess it was a big deal. They must have been popular, or people wouldn't have kept making them. Technically wonderful, deep, 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 rich color, incredibly difficult to print. Yeah, they're more realistic because as time went by, and with the photography now in the picture, the faces look more physically realistic. The noses and mouth and eyes are the right shape. It's just the mood they tried to evoke. What is there left? 2, 3 left. We're okay for time? We're okay, just let's look at the rest. This is a funny one. This again also is a replica of what we would call a couchier. This would have been a frontispiece stuck in a magazine. And as such, it would have been an illustration of a story in the magazine that time. And we're looking at maybe 1895, 1900, 1905, somewhere around there for the original design. These are 1970s, the replica. I guess that's what swimsuits used to look like back in 1895. I don't know. Ogata Korin. No, Ogata Gecko, Dave. Get your mouth right. Ogata Gecko. Again, lots of scratch carving. All the scratching you see there is not from brushes. This is somebody who's carved this. The key block is printed more than once with light and dark gradation on top of it. Well, of course, people mention this huge Western influence at this time. Huge. Summertime picture, she's in a mosquito net with incense. Or maybe, yeah, she's holding her ears. I know the key. It's summertime, it's a thunderstorm. And she's holding her ears against the sound of the thunder. That will be the backstory here. The mosquito net and the summer incense to keep away the mosquitoes. It's a thunderstorm. Oops. It's funny, this one, the last one in the stack has the same thing as the first in the stack. Can you see it there? The Nudo Mezuri. The paper is patterned in imitation of textiles. I'm not sure, I can't see. I'm not close enough to the screen to see. Are we getting it here? So I guess that's imitation. She's in a window, a circular window in like a tea ceremony room or whatever. And that's going to be the paper screen coming in from the side. That's the set. So as I said, the rest of the prints in the package are all what we would call photocopies. They're color printing. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 11. I thought there was 12. I thought there was 12. Maybe there's one still in there at the bottom of the packs. Can't get to it. Anyway, there we are. Auction finding last week, 40,000 yen. I don't think anybody else bid for it. Usual story, whatever. Yeah, I'll go through the rest to see if I can find it. Okay, that'll do us for now. Thank you very much. Today's Thursday. I'm now going to get this paper today. I'll get the paper moistened and prepared for printing. Tonight I'll be printing on the key block, or tomorrow. And when I see you again Saturday morning for me, Thursday night for many of you, we should be printing on the Hokusai explosion print. And streams past that, I can't see that far in the future. Also, we're broadcasting today in mono because it's just me. But the issue we had with microphones before is fixed. I'll be using stereo on Saturday and we'll talk about it then. I did manage to find a solution. The problem was, well, whatever. I'm the editor here, so yeah, the problem was here, but I do believe we have it fixed for now. See you Saturday morning. Thank you very much. Can't show you the outside camera, just simply signing off. 3, 2, 1. Bye for now.